There's someone who is going by King Kong calling from Namibia. King Kong, you're live with Eric and V. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hello, doing well. What do you want to talk about today?
No, I made a claim. I said atheists are their own little gods.
Okay, how do you define God?
God is someone who has supernatural powers.
I didn't understand what could you say that again? It didn't come in clear.
Someone who has supernatural powers.
So you think the atheists have supernatural powers?
V?
They think their reason is supernatural.
V, have you been holding out on
They
me?
think their reason is above nature.
Above nature. How are we above nature?
No, I said your reason. You think your reason is above nature.
How do you know? How do you, King Kong, if that is your real name? How did you?
No, it's not my real name.
Yeah. How did you come to?
It's part of my surname.
Sure. How did you come to think that that's how we think? That's a really big assumption on your part, isn't it? You're talking to two atheists. Why don't you just ask us?
Yes, I know.
Why don't you ask us? It sounds like
you're your show, and I'm a big fan of your show.
Well, cheers. Why are you making the assumption? Why don't you just ask us? All atheists think that they're their own little gods. That's kind of condescending, isn't it?
After careful study.
After careful study, you think that atheists, please tell me if I'm wrong, you think that atheists hold themselves as supernatural beings above nature. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's my claim.
So I can't speak for other people. I can speak for myself. What about me made you think that?
Yes. Not really you. I'm not really familiar with you. I only watched maybe 2 or 3 episodes.
Yeah, but I mean, for you to make that statement, you have to have at least enough evidence to show that. What about me makes me think that? Because
you deny the
go ahead.
knowledge.
Because I deny what?
Because you deny true knowledge.
Because I deny true knowledge. Well, what is true knowledge?
Which can only come from Yahweh.
Oh, true knowledge can only come from Jehovah. Okay, so you mean if I go to a university and I get a math degree, I'm still denying true knowledge? Can I know things about math?
You can only know things in that area.
In that area.
Well, isn't that true for everything?
You have to study it first, and then you know whether or not you know it.
I mean, you should probably study to become an architect, right? I wouldn't want to go into a building not designed by one. You should probably know about chemistry before you start, doing, creating things in labs. You should probably know about medicine and have a good amount of experience in medicine before you say that you're a doctor. What area are you talking about? Because it seems like that area is vanishingly small. King Kong?
Excuse me. Sorry, what? Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah,
the connection is a bit bad because I'm on the other side of the Atlantic.
Understood. So I'll say it again. Yeah. What is true knowledge? Because you're saying, you can have knowledge about certain areas. Well, duh. Yes, you can study and you can learn things. What can you learn without ever studying?
I don't know what is knowledge.
What is knowledge? That's a good question. King Kong, what do you think knowledge is?
That's a good question.
What do you think knowledge is?
The fear of Elohim.
The what?
The fear of Elohim.
The fear of Elohim is knowledge. Okay. Is there anywhere that you can use the word knowledge when you have that definition? Because it seems like knowledge is going to become a vanishingly hard to use word in conversation.
No, it won't actually be that hard to use.
What?
Because we start with God. Can I just explain a bit?
Well, you start with God, sure. Why do you start with God?
Because we believe you cannot know anything without.
Okay, so that's
Elohim.
right. So you can't know anything without it because you need it because you can't know anything without it. You defined yourself into a circle there. That doesn't make sense. Let me give you an example of another circle. I'm God because my book says I'm God.
No secularity.
I wrote a book that says I'm God. And
No,
now I can
secularity is
point
not
at
the
it and say I'm God because my book that I wrote says it. Right? That's nice and circular. It doesn't make it you haven't
Right,
actually
secularity is
justified
not a
anything.
problem.
Go ahead.
Yeah, secularity is not the problem.
Circularity is not a problem?
Yeah, it's not a problem for us.
Okay, so my example,
Let
is
me
there any
explain.
problem with that?
What was your example again?
Right, my example was I have a book.
Mm-hmm.
Right here, Book of Eric. It says that I'm God. I know it because it says so in the book. I wrote the book. So is that justifiable to believe?
For you with this.
No, I'm asking you if it's justifiable. For me, I don't give a crap if it's justifiable for me. It should be justifiable for everyone or not. We should have good reasons to believe things. Don't you agree? Do you think we should have good reasons to believe things?
Yeah, I will think you have a reason to believe that you think you are God.
Okay, and what's the reason that I think I'm God?
Because you don't accept the God that is revealed himself in nature, who is revealed himself in history.
It sounds like you weren't listening, King Kong.
You are God.
It sounds like you weren't listening. I didn't say that. I said it's because it's in the book. Where did you get that? Did I say it? Did I say it on an earlier episode? At what point do you get that?
No, I'm just going by your example that you made.
No, then you would have repeated my example back to me. Should I make it again? I can make it again. Right? I wrote in the book that I'm God.
No.
The book says that I'm God.
No, I'm not.
QED.
I'm not really interested in these hypothetical scenarios.
I'm not interested in you talking at me. I'd rather us find something that we can agree on and talk about it together. But if you're just going to say I'm not interested in talking to you, I just want to tell you what I think that you think. Why the hell would I give you time on my show? So talk to me, talk with me, engage with me. Maybe we can learn something together, King Kong. And let's start by saying, don't ever make assumptions about somebody without asking them. Because it's human decency. Wouldn't it be kind? Wouldn't it be a better world if we didn't do that to each other?
Yes, your worship. It will be a better world.
Oh, good. You didn't listen again, did you? King Kong, can you answer a single thing that comes out of my mouth, please? If we didn't assume things about each other, and we asked them and gave them the opportunity to tell you what they think instead of just writing them off because you made an assumption, wouldn't it be a better world?
Yes, I said
I agree it would be a better world if we didn't make assumptions. So, why are you making that assumption? You can apologize. That would be wonderful. That would be incredibly honest. That would be incredibly kind and fantastic. If you said, you know what, Eric, I'm sorry that I made that assumption about you. How about I ask you first? Yeah. Would you do that?
Eric, we all have to make assumptions.
Oh, so you're justifying. Are you justifying having made an assumption about me like that and writing me off? Do you think that's okay?
No, you're taking it too personal.
No, I'm talking, King Kong. We can talk about ideas. Ideas don't necessarily deserve respect. And I absolutely get that. Mm-hmm. But what you did is you made an assumption about me. You said all of you atheists think this. No. Because I can't understand a thing unless I'm already making that assumption about you. That is presumptive to the point of completely, I mean, dude, why shouldn't I write you off back? Oh, because I'm being a better person. Because I'm actually asking you what you think. Can you please give me the same kindness?
Yes, your worship. Now,
fuck off. You're done.